as a Black woman, you know, where did you find your mentorship, your sponsors, the guidance that moved you along on your journey?
Yeah, I think you know, the first thing is like knowing the difference between mentor sponsors and how you use them in your journey. So I think that's key. But like my biggest champion from the time I was young, the person who like put this fire in me was my father. He was very clear and letting me know my voice mattered. And he was also very clear about the fact that I needed to have a voice, as oftentimes the only little Black girl in my class for years, right? And so, and I think back to that. I think I shared this with you a while back about the story when I was in high school that I transferred high schools and went from a regular high school to a more affluent high school. And in the new high school, they had put me in all of these like regular basic classes. And I kept saying, no, I was on an AP track. And they were like, don't worry about it. It's fine. This will be better for you. And I'm like, no, it won't. And day after day, I would go to my counselor's office to try to get him to change my schedule. And he would just send me back to class. And that last day I went in the office and I sat and I was like, I'm not leaving until you call my old high school.
Wow.
I would sit in this office and miss every class until you call my old high school and verify my schedule. And they did. And then they had to redo my whole schedule.
Wow.
To put me back where I was. But I think about that, like if my father hadn't been the kind of father he was, that could have changed the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It could have changed the rest of my life. And, you know, so I think he's been my biggest advocate in terms of, and mentor, brilliant man. But also, I have to tell you, Black women have been my saving grace in every industry. You know, I love sometimes when we get together because, you know, sometimes the unicorns have to get together to remind ourselves that we aren't unicorns.
Yeah.
And I love how Black women, particularly in the entertainment industry, have embraced me, have extended their networks to me, have just really been supportive. And, you know, that's really key. So I tell people all the time, your mentors are the people you can tell you're the good, the bad, and the ugly to. Your sponsors are the people that are carrying your paper in the room. So you might not even always know who your sponsor is, but if someone you think is a sponsor, then you have to think about what messages do I want this person to always be saying about me?
Yeah.
And then how do you make sure that every time you interact with that person, you're reinforcing those messages by how you deliver to them, how you work with them, whatever, right? And so that when they're in that room, they can say, you know, every time I've interacted with Cody, like he has been really innovative in terms of finding solutions to customer problems. Or every time I have interacted with Cody and asked his opinion on something, I find it really refreshing that he can be candid and really give hard feedback, right? So whatever it is you want that person to say about you in the room, how are you demonstrating that every time you interact with them?
Yeah, and it's great that you made that distinction between what are those mentors, what are those sponsors.